Hello students, welcome back to my class. So we are going to start a new lesson of the class 4th. So the name of the unit is Unit 7A reading, and the name of the lesson which I have already mentioned on the board is The Boy and the Catapult. So what is meant by catapult is nothing but a Y-shaped stick with a rubber band. So basically the boys used to play with that Y-shaped stick which is covered with tied up with a rubber band to attaching the stone, and they used to throw the stone with the help of this catapult. So it is in Y-shaped stick and it is tied with the rubber band. It is called the catapult. So let's see what the boy is doing with the catapult. The oddest fellow in my class was Bodhraj. So here there is a name of the boy whose name is Bodhraj. Yes, Bodhraj. He always had a catapult in his hand. Okay, so the oldest boy in the class his name is Bodhraj, and he always had a catapult in his hand. He was an excellent shooter. So with this catapult the boy used to shoot the things. He was an excellent shooter. He would stand under a tree, take aim and shoot a pebble from the catapult. So what do you mean by pebbles? Pebbles are round small stones, okay, which are very soft, small round stones. So he used to shoot a pebble from the catapult. The next moment a bird would fall down. So he used to, what we can say, shoot the bird taking the pebble stone, and the bird will fall down with his shooting. I lived with my parents in an old bungalow on the outskirts of the city. So here there is another boy. What is the name of the boy? We will come to know very soon. So he used to live with his parents in an old bungalow on the outskirts. Outskirts means which are very far away from the city, areas which are far away from the city. Being far away from the city, my friends rarely come to visit me. So he is living in the outskirts, but his friends used to visit his bungalow. But Bodhraj found it a good place to hunt. But this boy was always visit his friend to hunt the birds, the things, etc. So he found it is a good place to hunt, Bodhraj. Behind the house there was a godown. Okay, so behind the bungalow, this boy's house, he is having a godown behind his house. This room had become a regular place of visit for birds. So in the godowns, what things will be kept? The things which are extra, which are so many stock things will be there. So many waste things, extra things are going to kept in the godowns. So nobody will visit regularly in the godowns. So that room had become a regular place to visit for the birds. We hear their cooing all day. So they used to chip with their sounds all day. The next time Bodhraj came, he went straight to the godown. So when the next time the Bodhraj came to his bungalow, what did he did? He suddenly first went straightly to the godown. So as usual, so whenever he used to come to visit the bungalow, he always carry his catapult with him. He noticed that near the ventilator there was a myna's nest. So what is myna? Myna is a name of the bird. So suddenly when he visited the bungalow and he went near the very straight to the godown, he is having catapult in his hand, and he noticed that near the ventilator, near the window type, there was a myna's nest. The mynas little ones are up there. So in that nest, small mynas were sitting inside the nest, said Bodhraj, aiming with his catapult. So he was trying to do something with that mynas. I noticed two tiny yellow beaks peeping out of the nest. So in that nest, small mynas were there, and yellow beaks peeping out of the nest. Beaks means their nose. Yes. So the yellow color beaks were coming out. Peeping means, what do you mean by peeping? Looking curiously. So that small yellow color peeping, yellow color beaks were peeping. Beaks are nothing but the nose of the mynas. So the small mynas were peeping out of the nest. Next, see what happened. Bodhraj raised his catapult and fitted a pebble in it. So what did he did? He came to know in the nest that the small mynas are sitting and looking curiously. So he took one pebble, small stone, and put it in that catapult and fitted a pebble in it. I wanted to stop him. So he wanted to stop that small mynas by shooting with his catapult. Suddenly a large shadow moved across the room, blocking the light from the ventilator. It was a big kite. So suddenly what happened? A large shadow moved across the room, okay, blocking the light from the ventilator. So from that ventilator, the light which was coming, suddenly it was blocked. It was a big kite. Yes, it was a big kite. This must be the kite's nest, I said. So what did the Bodhraj said? This must be the kite's nest, I said. No, a kite always make its nest in a tree. This is myna's nest. The chicks began fluttering their wings and shrieking. So next there was chicks also. Small chicks began fluttering. Fluttering means move lightly and quickly. So the chicks were moving very slowly, lightly and quickly, their wings and shrieking. What do you mean by shrieking? Give a loud high shout. So they were shouting also. The kite perched on the beam. So the chicks began to moving slowly and quickly, and they were shouting with a loud high, and the kite perched. What do you mean by perch? Looked carefully. The kite looked carefully on the beam. Beam means a roof, yes, covered with the, what we can say? See, yes, beam, a long piece of wood which supports roof. Okay, so the kite had, what we can say, stayed on that beam, on the roof which is supporting by the piece of the wood. Yes, on the beam the kite got stuck. The birds' frightened cries filled the air. So the birds were very much frightened, scared, and they started crying, which filled the air. The kite has been coming here every day for his meals. So the kite was also coming every day for his meals, said Bodhraj suddenly. Bodhraj raised his catapult and aimed at the kite. So next what did he did? That the kite was moving here and there every day for his meals, so that, and the birds were cried with the air, and the chicks were also moving quickly, and what else? Loud high shouting, etc. So what did the Bodhraj said? That he again raised his catapult and want to shoot at the kite. So next what happened? That the Bodhraj has raised his catapult to aim at the kite. Don't hit the kite, it will attack you, I shouted, but Bodhraj paid no attention. So someone said, don't kill the kite, but Bodhraj did not pay any attention. He was not ready to listen anybody. The pebble missed the kite and hit the ceiling instead. So he was unable to hit the kite. He missed the kite and hit the ceiling instead. The kite spread its wing wide and peered down. So the kite was spreading its wing. As you can see in the picture, the kite was there and the Bodhraj was aiming at the kite with his catapult. The kite spread its wing. So this is another name of the bird. Yes, kite is the name of the bird. Don't get confused, students. Okay, name of the bird, and it was spreading its wings and peer down. What do you mean by peer down? Looked carefully. So he was looking carefully down that who is going to shoot him. So it was Bodhraj. Let's go out of here or the kite will attack. I said, frightened. So his friend was explaining him, let's go out of here, that otherwise the kite will attack us. I said, frightened. He was scared that the kite will attack, but he was not ready to pay attention. The kite will eat up the little ones. This sounded rather strange coming from him. So this was very strange. Then the kite will going to eat other the little chicks and minas, small minas. Rather strange coming from him. Bodhraj quickly ran and pulled up the table standing against the wall to the place. So what did he do? Started doing? He get it a table, and what he did? He pulled up a table standing against the wall to the place. So he stood up. So he stand up on the table which is against the wall to the place under the mina's nest. Okay, he climbed on the table. Yes, because he want to kill the, what we can say, shoot the kite. He was troubling to every small birds and he want to eat their meals, etc. So the Bodhraj has decided to stand up on the table under the mina's nest. He climbed on the table, gently lifted the nest and slowly stepped down. So he gently lifted the mina's nest and slowly came down. Let's go out of here, he said, and ran towards the door. I followed. So he took the nest, lifted the nest and said, just get out, let's go out of here. Why? Because that kite is troubling to everyone. And he took the nest in his hand, ran towards the door. I followed. So his friend also followed Bodhraj. Next, what happened? They lifted the mina's nest and these two friends ran away. We went into the garage. So what do you mean by garage? Garage is a place where the vehicles are kept. Yes. So these two boys went into the garage. It had only one door and a small window in the back wall. So it had only one door and a small window in the back wall. A beam ran across its width. Okay. He climbed on a box and placed the nest on the beam. So where did he keep that nest? On the beam, a long piece of wood which supports roof. So he kept on a long piece of wood, okay, which is supporting its roof. The mina's young ones had quietened down. So they were sitting in the nest very quietly. Standing on the box, Bodhraj peeped into the nest. So Bodhraj was peeping into the nest. Peeping means looking carefully, curiously, eagerly. Okay, how the minas are looking. So he also wanted to see the minas from in the nest. So he peeped into the minas nest. I thought that he would pick them up. So this friend, Bodhraj's friends, thought that he is going to pick up the mina. But he said, get some water, the chicks are thirsty. So what did he say to his friends? That in the nest that the small birds are very thirsty. Get some water for them. I brought a glass of water. Bodhraj fed them with drops of water. So his friend got a glass full of water and the Bodhraj had started feeding them with little drops of water. When Bodhraj came the next day, he had neither the catapult nor pebbles. So when he again visited to his friend's house, which is where his house is, his house is very far away from the city at the outskirts. So next day he again visited his bungalow. He doesn't have anything with him. So Bodhraj was not having any catapult nor any pebbles. He carried some seeds with him. So when he was coming to his friend's house, what did he brought in his hand? He brought some seeds. Okay, seeds to feed those small chicks and birds. We fed the myna's young ones and spent time watching them. So they had started feeding some food to the myna, seeds, water, etc., to the small young ones, and spent time watching them into the nest. So these two boys were watching these small young birds and spend time watching what they are doing in the nest. So in this way the story was completed. So the boy and the catapult. So he was not carrying catapult anymore. So in this way we have completed the story, students. Just go through these meanings and learn the new words along with the spellings. Improve your vocabulary. These are all the new words which you are not familiar with this. Learn these meanings, understand the story. We'll be right back with another class, okay, with vocabulary and grammar part. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.